Every Yu-Gi-Oh duelist knows there is no better feeling than opening a fresh pack of Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Here with the Cross Soul sneak peek, we got the sneak peek promo, seen Dragoons of Draconia, so it looks pretty cool. Hey, you guys gotta go. Back to packs.
Oh.
Hey! Look at that. Ghost, Ogre, I should have said I could keep your packs, I don't have to. Ghost, Ogre, and Snow Rabbit.
Ripping up that foil packaging, there could be anything in there when the heart of the cards is at play.
3 more packs. Let's get it. Come on. Let's get hype. Come on.
Sometimes people get very lucky.
That we've definitely made our money back, especially by pulling that $40 card currently. And you never know, that card might just drop back down by the time this video gets put. Oh my gosh.
Other times, not so much.
What? Chat, there's no secret rares in this box.
But with a flourishing secondary market with services like TCG Player, eBay, and even Amazon, I guess. Who buys off of Amazon? There is multiple ways to get the cards you want, even if you don't pull them yourself. As a wise man once said,
"Hey, don't be an idiot and buy the singles."
Unfortunately, it's me. I am that idiot. So starting with just 3 structure decks, let's forge our own journey, see what we're capable of, and end up being ready for the anticipated return of organized play in the first YCS, in Sealed Only 2. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Sealed Only Yu-Gi-Oh! Every journey has to start somewhere, and instead of taking a look at a newer structure deck, today we're throwing it back to one of the best structure decks of all time, I'd like to think, and that is structure deck Soulburner. Beginning Sealed Only 2, I wanted to take it as seriously as possible and give myself the best chance that when organized play returns, I can top a YCS. And I think Salamangreat and building up from there is the best way to do it. It's actually hard to believe how old this set is by now. It's actually a couple years old now, but I managed to get my hands on 3 of them, and I'm gonna crack it open for you guys, and you guys will slowly start to realize why this structure deck is just so good on its own. And it was also great on release too. No tricks or surprises this episode, just busting open the 3 structures. We're gonna take it to locals, see how it performs. Right. Let's get started. Oh yeah, before we get into that, you might be eyeing up the playmat here. With the release of this video, launches the 3rd wave of Optimal Apparel, and with it comes the first release of an Optimal Rubber playmat. This is Optimal Dust, featuring the artwork of Supe Duskwalker and Moondragon Keela. This is available now at optimal.shop for $24.99. If you want to pick it up, now's your chance. It's only going to be available for 2 weeks, and then you're never going to be able to get your hands on it again. So if you want to pre-order it now, optimal.shop, that is optml.shop. Right, okay, structure deck Soulburner, let's get into it. It wouldn't be right if we didn't take the time to eye up the the paper playmat that comes with it. Oh baby, what a stunner. Right, okay, so before we build a deck out of the 3 of these that we have here, let's take a look at just what's in this structure deck alone. Let's bust open the wrapper. There's literally no feeling that is greater than busting this piece of plastic off here. You know, if I could find where it starts. Ah, there we go. Got it. Finally. Finally. Structure Deck Soulburner, released February 15th, 2019. Let's take a trip down memory lane. Let's see what this beast of a structure deck included. Salamangreat Heat Leo is the boss monster that pops up at the front there, and behind it is a Salamangreat Mirage Stalio. Oh man, I always forget this card's banned. Hell of a card. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to play it, so this is already a card right off the bat that's just going over there in the trash. Salamangreat Bailings, one of the most important link monsters of our deck. And then we get to the main deck monsters, featuring Salamangreat Gazelle, quite possibly the most important main deck monster. If a Salamangreat monster is sent to the graveyard, we can special Gazelle from our hand, and the Gazelle can dump any Salamangreat card from our deck to the graveyard. Very important for getting our super powerful traps into the graveyard, then recur them back with Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf. This is the most powerful Salamangreat, and it is at 1 for a reason. Following behind it, we got Salamangreat Spinny, another great one. If we control a Salamangreat, we can pitch this from our hand to give it 500, but also we can recur this from the graveyard if we have a Salamangreat on the field. Really good for making Link 3 plays. Would be nice if we still had that Mirage Stalio, but hey, Salamangreat Spinny still does have a place in the deck, and it is still pretty good. Salamangreat Circle, this is going to be searching us all of our Salamangreat monsters. It's also at 1 for a reason how good it is. And behind that is Salamangreat Roar. Quite possibly, I think the best trap card in this deck. Rage is a close second, but this card's actually nuts. If we control Salamangreat Link monster when a spell or trap card or monster effect is activated, flip this up, we can negate it. When we use the basic Salamangreat strategy to utilize Sanctuary to blink a Salamangreat Link monster, we are able to set this from our graveyard too, but then it gets banished. Normally we'll set this off of sending it off of Gazelle, and then we can set it with Sunlight Wolf and continually use it again. Very powerful trap card, definitely going to be using it. On to the rest of Salamangreat monsters, we've got Raccoon, Mole, and Fowl. Fowl is a really good one. If we normal or special summon a Salamangreat, we can special summon this from our hand. We can also send a Salamangreat card from our hand or face up on the field to the graveyard, then target a set spell or trap and pop it our opponent controls. Pretty good, but also the fact that it's just a level 4 that can summon itself is nice when we're doing rank 4 plays. Salamangreat Beat Bison, I don't think I've ever seen this card before. It doesn't help that I haven't opened this structure deck before. Salamangreat Mirror. Foxy is another really solid one. When he's normal summoned, we can excavate the top 3, and then if we donk a Salamangreat card, we can add it to our hand. Otherwise, they just get shuffled back in. And if he's in our graveyard, we can target a face-up spell or trap on the field, discard a Salamangreat card, and then special summon him, and then pop that card. Super powerful, super flexible, one of the better starter cards of the deck. Following it up, we got Falco, another really solid one. When he's sent to the graveyard, we can target a Salamangreat spell or trap and set it to the field. And if he's chilling in the graveyard, we can bounce back one of our Salamangreat monsters chilling on the field to special summon him. Also just a really good card. Again, level 4, really good with those level 4 plays. Salamangreat Jaguar is one of the most integral cards of the combo. While Jaguar is in the graveyard, we can shuffle a Salamangreat monster from our graveyard back into the deck, and then we can special summon him to a Link zone that we control. Well, specifically a Salamangreat Link monster. Normally we have a Balinx on the field, or when we get Sunlight Wolf, this is going to be huge because we can summon this to the Sunlight Wolf zone and then use the Sunlight Wolf effect. On it up, we got Salamangreat Wolvie, Pero, Foxer, and that's all the Salamangreat monsters. On to the other support of the deck, we got a True King Agnimazod the Vanisher in this deck. I don't think I'll be playing this, but this is pretty cool. A Doggeron the Mad Flame Kaiju is super solid. Flamvel Fire Dog, Fencing Fire Ferret. Man, I used to remember when this card used to be played when it was first released. If it's destroyed and sent to the graveyard, target a face-up monster your opponent controls, destroy it, and inflict 500. Oh boy. Inferno behind there, and then one of the most important cards of the structure deck, and one of the best cards is Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, printed in the common rarity. When this deck was first announced and this card was revealed in it, people went nuts. And this card still sits at around $10 today, which is normally just the retail value of the structure deck. Super nice to be able to see it. We're going to definitely be playing it in the deck, probably throughout the entire series. Just an overall very powerful hand trap. Happy to get our hands on it, even if it's common rarity. Behind that, we got a Red Resonator, a Volcanic Shell, 2 of them, and a 4-Mud Skipper. 4-Mud Skipper is not that bad either. Pairs well with Parallel Exceed and Eternity Decode whenever we get there. That's all the monsters of the deck, and moving on to the spells and traps, we got Salamangreat Claw, Salamangreat Sanctuary, which is the field spell that we will be playing because it is integral to all the strategies. This allows us to link summon a Salamangreat Link monster using a Salamangreat Link monster we control. So if we have a Balinx, we can use Sanctuary to summon another Balinx over that Balinx. As you'll start to learn, that is super important to all of our strategies. We're definitely going to be playing it, and it's probably what makes the deck go around. Moving on, Will of the Salamangreat is also a super solid continuous spell card. A lot of people compare this to that of Soul Charge, which I can kind of see it. It's pretty good. During our main phase, while this is on the field, we can special summon a Salamangreat from our hand or the graveyard. And then we can also target a Salamangreat Link monster that was Link summoned using the Sanctuary effect to be able to then special summon Salamangreat Link monsters from our hand or graveyard equal to its Link rating. That's nuts. Super underrated card too. This card's actually just bonkers. Following it back up, we got Monster Reincarnation, Circle of Fire Kings is pretty cool, Transmodify, Link Bound, and Magic Planter. Onto the trap cards, we got Salamangreat Rage, the second most powerful trap card I'd like to think. There's 2 effects we can choose from. The first one is we can send a Salamangreat monster from our hand or face up on the field to the graveyard, and target a card on the field, destroy it. That's a pretty simple one. The second one is if we have a Salamangreat Link monster that was summoned with the Sanctuary effect, or just summoned with the same name, we can then destroy cards our opponent controls up to that Link rating. That effect doesn't target. That's what makes this card so good. Salamangreat Gift, the Transmigration Prophecy, Threatening Roar, Break Off Trap Hole, Backfire, Goes in Match is actually pretty sick. And that's the trap cards. The deck was nice enough to give us a couple more Link monsters to work with, a second Heat Leo, a Flame Administrator, and a Doolittle Chimera. And this thing, which is going in the trash. Right, that's everything that's actually featured in the Soulburner Structure Deck. I still think it's one of the best structure decks released in a very long time. I think the Monarch one actually comes close to it, but this one is super solid. Ash Blossom reprint, yes please. Right, I'm gonna bust open these two, we're gonna build the deck, and we're gonna see what we're taking to locals today. Let's get moving. All right, folks, I'm gonna level with you. This deck is not good. Unsurprisingly, unboxing 3 of these bad boys and throwing them into a deck is not that impressive. You'll see in a second, but this is what we're going to be taking to locals today, see if we can smash it up. There's a lot of glaring issues with this deck at first glance, as there's just 0 power plays. I really think our best play in this deck is going to be a play like yugioh pass with like a Rage and a Roar set or something like that. It's not good. I didn't look up anything online to find this. I just built it how I thought I would like it. So we'll talk about it. We'll talk about the decision making and see where we're at on episode 1. Starting it off, we got 3 Salamangreat Foxy, probably one of our better starters that we have in the deck. Can excavate the 3, and then we can pick up a spell trap or a monster, any Salamangreat card we reveal. So if we can pick up, I don't know, like a Rage or a Roar off of it, it's pretty good. Following it up, we've got a 1-of Salamangreat Gazelle because the card is at 1. This card's absurd. I wish it was at more than 1, but unfortunately it's not. But we are going to play the 1 because it is as good as it is. Pairing with it, we've got 3 Salamangreat Spinny. Something you wouldn't normally see in a Salamangreat deck is 3 of these babies, especially now. But unfortunately, with our thin selection of cards, this is probably just one of the better ones to pick, giving our Salamangreats a boost and also just being able to summon it from the graveyard. Got 2 copies of Salamangreat Jack Jaguar and 2 copies of Salamangreat Falco. These cards have cool ways of recurring themselves from the graveyard, Jack Jaguar especially, and also Jack Jaguar is just an 1800, which isn't bad on a body on its own. Falco can reset spell traps, which is pretty neat. Can also bounce back Gazelle if it's hanging on the field and then special summon itself from the graveyard. Altogether, these ones aren't that bad. The last 2 of is a very weird one, and that's 2 Salamangreat Raccoon. You've probably never read this card before. So if a Salamangreat monster we control is target for attack, we can send this to the graveyard, and then we can gain life points equal to the difference of the 2 attacks, and our guy is not destroyed by battle. I mean, keeping a dude on the field isn't too bad, but also if our Salamangreat guy destroys a card by battle, we can add this from our graveyard to hand. As far as Salamangreat cards that do anything, this is one of the ones that does at least something. It's kind of like a hand trap, so maybe it'll come in clutch, I don't know. And then rounding off the Salamangreats, we got 1 copy on Mole to recycle the graveyard if we get there, and then 1 copy of Foul. This would be better if we have any rank 4s, XYZs to go into, but we just don't. Altogether, though, I think these are just like the most solid Salamangreat monsters, and these will start to get cut down a lot as we get into later episodes and we start to get just better cards. We can just cut it down to the good stuff, but right now we're kind of stuck with playing some of the mediocre Salamangreats to at least build a 40 card deck out of it now. So that's our Salamangreat count. Now let's see what we're cracking with in the rest of the deck here. We've got 3 of the Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Really great generic hand trap. Happy we have it at 3. It's a shame we have no power plays to be able to follow up and capitalize on its powerful effect. Though this will probably be a mainstay in the deck for the rest of the series just because of how powerful and impactful the card is. So very good pickup to have early. Can't wait to see what other hand traps we can add to the lineup in later episodes. And then also following that, I added 2 Fencing Fire Ferret because we are running low on very good cards to play in this deck. Fencing Fire Ferret, I don't know if it's destroyed and sent to the graveyard. It might throw somebody off guard and I can pop a monster. I don't know, dude. It's like, it's the only other monster that I thought was okay, so I put it in there. And that ends up the monster count there, so let's see what spells and traps we're working with. We're working with Double Sanctuary. You normally would only see 1, but I'd figure since we have the space, there's really no room to play the 2. If they get rid of the 1, it genuinely does not hurt our strategy. It only stops the effect of yugioh because Balance doesn't have anything special when it gets resummoned. This will get cut down to 1 very shortly, I'm sure, but we're gonna play it at 2 now because we can. And then moving on to the other ones, we got 3 Will of the Salamangreat, super underrated card, allowing us to reborn, and also just probably one of the better continuous spells that we have in this deck right now. And then rounding off the spell count, we just have the 1 Salamangreat Circle. It's a quick play searcher for any of our Salamangreat monsters. Very, very strong card. I wish it was at more than 1, but like Gazelle, it's just not. Regardless, we're going to play the 1, and we're going to be happy about it. And that is the very small spell lineup for the deck. And I actually decided to beef up the deck with a lot of traps because I have a feeling we're going to be playing on the back foot a lot. The traps aren't very good either, but I'll show you them. 3 Salamangreat Roar, which is our counter trap of the deck. Super good counter trap. It's even better with the fact that we can search it when we have a card like Sunlight Wolf, but we don't have that yet, so we're just going to play the 3 and hope that we can hard draw it and hope the Omni Negate can get us there. Speaking of things that can get us there, we're going to hope this Rage can also put in work. Again, this is that non-targeting destruction removal for the deck. Extremely powerful card. It's going to be better if we could draw it in tandem with, you know, Heatleo on the field. Balinx isn't bad on the field with it either, you know, just being able to pop 1 card. It's not terrible. It's not terrible. 3 Threatening Roar, which just, our opponent can't declare an attack this turn. So, keeps us from dying a turn, I guess. Triple goes in match isn't too terrible since we're only playing fires. It does not hurt us in the slightest. Might hurt something else, like, I don't know, rocks. If we're going first, we can set it up, which is pretty nice. Doesn't stop Dogmatica because they're all light monsters, but hey, we take what we can with this card. Against the right matchup, it could just be a blowout. And then the last 2 cards of the deck rounding out to 40 are... This is so bad. Double Break Off Trap Hole. This card reads, when a link monster is link summoned, destroy all monsters on the field that are not linked. If your opponent just summons a link monster with no other monsters and it's something we can break off, it's neat, I guess. It is what it is. All right, peeping at the extract real quick, it is nothing special. You could probably guess it yourself. It is 3 Salamangreat Balinx, which searches our sanctuary and also can protect things from destruction. Not bad. Triple Salamangreat Heatleo, just because we can. If it says anything at all, this is probably going to be our biggest power play, is just summon Heatleo and then Sanctuary it. So Heatleo, when it's a link summoned, we can shuffle back a spell trap on our opponent's side of the field, and then it can also just get big if we use Sanctuary to link summon itself again. That's probably our biggest play. The fact that it's a link 3 makes Rage way better. Once we get Sunlight Wolf, this deck will start making a lot more sense, I promise. But until we get then, the rest of the extra deck is just actually just double Doolittle Chimera and 1 Flame Administrator. We could max these out if we really wanted to, but I don't foresee us making all of them there, so I'm just going to stick with what we got there. Have a couple targets in case our opponent throws a Maximus at us and we need to dump some things that we will never really make in this deck. That's these 3. That is the extra deck, rather slim looking, but following that up, we got just some side deck cards. There isn't really any of them I saw that really caught my eye, except the only one that made it in is Dogoron, the Mad Flame Kaiju. The fact that this thing is 3,000 is just really dissuading to giving my opponent it, because I genuinely don't have an out to whip besides Heatleo. So maybe if I can like slam this on my opponent's side of the board, make a Heatleo, and then make it big, I can get over it. But other than that, just giving my opponent a big dude is like, it's not great. That's the only card that really made it into the side deck, because it can just 1-for-1 remove something. Maybe if our opponent just sits on 1 negate, we can actually make plays if we just give him the Dogoron. But that is wishful thinking at best. That is the genesis of our sealed only Salamangreat list. This is our 40 card list we're taking to locals today. Let's just get in there. Let's see how we do. But first things first, I gotta sleeve this bad boy up. Let me grab some sleeves. Check this out. I was super irritated running out of sleeves, so I just bought a whole case worth of my favorite ones. Player's Choice White. Can't go wrong. I'm gonna sleeve this bad boy up. We'll take it to locals. Let's get in there.
The cap. Oh my god.
New setup, looking extra fresh. Oh my goodness. Optimal.shop. Pick up the mat. Noah, tell him about the mat. Tell him about the mat.
Mat's hot.
Isn't it hot? It's
Almost
hot.
as hot as Gabe.
Oh my god. Oh, it's almost. Optimal.shop. Pick it up. Ooh. Alright, obviously a lot's been changing around here. It looks a little different. Not only the layout of it, but also just in general with all the screens and everything going on. People have been a little bit hesitant to actually start playing cards again physically because of the whole pandemic going on. Understandable. I've been working here every day, and I've been keeping a careful eye to see how we're managing it. I think we're doing a pretty good job of avoiding any dangers and everything. It's enough for me to want to get back in, play cards. I miss it, man. I just miss it. We've been capping our tournaments at 24 players today, and it looks like I would not be surprised if we hit that count. Our deck is, it's not great. Missing a lot of power plays to really bring it up to speed against what we're going to be up against. It's going to be difficult these first few episodes. Maybe we can steal a win here and there. I'm not expecting too much, keeping those expectations low. Maybe I'll surprise myself. All right, following that, I don't think I got too much to add. Let's hop back into the mix. It's time to duel. Rise of the Duelist is what we're busting open. I don't think there's anything too... whoa. I don't think there's anything too crazy out of this that I need. There's some cool cards out of it, but I don't think anything that directly benefits our strategy. It'd be nice to pull a Triple T or a Forbidden Droplet, you know. Let's find out. Oh, I didn't expect to get... I didn't expect to get something actually out of this. Flirtalist, that's pretty sick. As for Salamangreats, that's not going to do us any good, but I actually did need one of those myself, so... Hey, it's good to have it. Alright, and the second pack, I'm like, can I pull another secret? Nah, I didn't think so. Alright, can't be that lucky. No other secret. Hey, Flirtalist though. That's pretty sick. Alright, hopping into round 1 of locals with the sealed only deck. Let's see how we do. Woo.
I promise it's not that. Am I on there? Oh, Zach, you be playing it.
Okay. Alright, neat, that's 5. Beat that.
Oh, I did beat it with an 8. Alright, I'm gonna go first, Duelist.
Okie dokie.
Good luck.
Yes, sir.
This is your deck.
That is sure my deck.
Let me get mine. Alright, we're officially done with our first match with the sealed only Salamangreat deck. It went about as well as you would expect. Plays are going to look extremely similar both games because it is what it is. I started my turn 1 of the sealed deck, winning the die roll, and I go with a pretty decent opening hand. A whole bunch of traps, double roar, single rage, sanctuary, and foxy. That's actually not even a terrible opening. Could you just imagine if we were actually playing real cards? We could have did stuff. I opened my turn by summoning the only monster in my hand, the foxy, and I donk off a spinny to add to my hand. From there, I just go into Balance, search my second sanctuary in my deck, activate the Sanctuary, blink the Balance to get one engraved so I can protect from destruction. I don't know what I'm up against, but I want to make sure this Rage and Roar is live when I pass it over to him. Ending the turn, setting the Roar and the Rage, passing it over, ending on Balance, set 2. It's not a crazy board in the least, but those 2 back row are actually pretty decent. 1 non-targeting removal, as well as 1 Omni Negate. Maybe if we play this correctly, we might have a chance. At least I like to think I did until I realized what I was playing against. I was playing against Infernoble Knight. This deck just keeps on chugging. I know full well 2 back rows just not going to cut it. I like negate his connector because I want to stop the normal summon, and then I rage when he makes Isolde and activates the effect to add the blank, the one that you can't summon that turn. And then he just ends up having the Phoenix God Gearfried already in his hand, which he slaps on down. And that card's a pain in the ass to deal with. It gets equipped with something, so now it can negate a monster effect, but also it's got another effect where when it attacks into something, it can soak up the monster. So Baelink's having the fact that I had another one in graveyard, it's not going to matter. It's not going to get destroyed. He just soups it up, takes it for himself. I'm left with no monsters on field. No back row after I use both my disruptions. I don't have any plays. Pass it over to him. He doesn't have a normal summon, but he's got a big, beefy Phoenix God Gearfried I can't do anything about on his side of the board. So he just proceeds to go, all right, attack you in the face for like 4,000 or something, pass turn. I draw, it's nothing good. We scoop it up. I'm thinking this field's looking a little bare. I'm gonna, look at that, put the Stratos on there.
I'm gonna side.
Oh, you're gonna side against me. You're gonna side against this.
No.
I was gonna say, really, Ropes?
We're
Oh
not
my.
gonna do that.
Okay, alright, I'm gonna go first, the list.
Yeah, no doubt.
Good luck.
You just literally built this today.
Yeah, I did. Game 2 looks scarily similar to Game 1 because we open up literally the exact same board. Foxy grabs us a Roar, so he knows we have Roar now. And we end on literally the same board of set Rage, set Roar, Sanctuary, Baelinks with a Baelinks in the graveyard, pass. He works through those 2 back row, not a problem for him, and he ends on a board of Boarload Savage plus Charles. He can't game me that turn. I'm pretty sure he could have if he would have played it differently, but maybe he just made a mistake along the way. Regardless, he has Charles plus a Boarload Savage with like 3 negates. He attacks in him, I'm down to like 1350, and he passes it back to me. I just know I'm not going to win. I'm glad I got the extra turn, but at 1350 life points with no follow-up as well as an Omni Negate staring down, I can't win the match. I scoop it up, and that was our swift 2-0, the round 1 with the Salamangreats. Pretty much expected. Hopefully our current situation of not having any power plays going turn 1 can be resolved in the next few episodes. But right now, literally, I'm ending on our best turn 1 board, and it's not doing anything for me. Maybe we'll have better luck next match. Let's hope so. We'll find out, whatever. Check out this level of the shelf here. Oh, it's all goodies. There's actually 2 Starlight Appaloosas back there. And there's, I think, 1 Starlight Ecclesia, but look at that. There's like 3 10,000 dragons. Oh, man. Top deck's just balling out of control, baby. Look at the Utopia. All right, you know I couldn't cuck you like that. Look at this. Look at this.
No, you know what? I want you to be our heir.
You getting some good footage here, bud?
We are ropes. Look, I'm not happy that you beat me round 1 still. I don't want to talk about it. Do you want to buy this for me?
Absolutely not.
Come on.
You think I have that kind of disposable income?
Yeah, but I thought you liked me.
I do. I'm not saying
Just,
that I don't.
he doesn't like me DD Crow enough. Do you want to buy this for me, Nate?
I pulled that.
Can I have it? No. All right, you guys remember Noah from last season. This is the Spice Master. He's just got so much good stuff. The last time you showed us that whole misprint set of all the things that were cut wrong.
Yes.
Yes. So what do you got for me today?
So we have, these are half negative. So half the picture came out normal and the other half is still the negative before they print the foil over it.
Ooh. And this is for all of them here?
Yep, it's this whole stack.
Oh my.
Some are cooler than others.
What's your favorite looking one?
Oh, my favorite? I'm gonna have to go with either the stick because I liked it in Shadal format, but this Shadow Boxer. It's like perfect.
Oh, that Shadow Boxer is sick.
Perfect for the
The
name.
negative too, it looks so good.
And then we have some like older misprints. These are spell books with the Madrat in the background.
Gotta get the good lighting for this here, hold on. Oh, yep, you can see the head of the guy right there.
It makes the art look really crazy.
Uh-huh. I always liked, there was a Diamond Direwolf one of these.
Yeah.
What was the counter for that too? Was it like,
There was Madrat, I think Fire Colossus, and then they did the Elf. And then this one, so it's an Alti. It still has the border and the name, but it didn't print the Alti foil on the picture of the stars. But when you take it out of the sleeve and you turn it just right, they printed the foil on it. Like they attempted to press it in, but it never happened, and it's also way downshifted.
So is it more common to see the card just not get its foil, or is it like...
It's still pretty rare. They happened on like some OTSs. They'll just have like the border, like I had a decode like that. I've never seen one that they attempted to press the foil in, and not only was there no foil, but it's completely shifted down, like even on the text box.
Hey, they tried their best.
Yeah. He's just a sad, lonely boy.
You'll never be as shiny as his friend.
Nope.
Because you never see these every day, you know?
Oh, no.
Big flex. Also, this mat's pretty too. But...
It's nice.
Kind of neat, just happened to be here today. And an hour ago, Konami posted about us being a featured OTS store. I'm not going to lie, we spent so long trying to figure out what the word Kismet means. But we figured it out, and we take it as a compliment. We did it, Nate! We did it! Alright, the list. High roll?
Absolutely.
3. That's a good roll!
Second time today.
Oh, mine's just slightly better.
No doubt.
Alright, I'm gonna go first.
Absolutely.
Good luck.
You as well.
Oh, yeah, we're done. Pretty swift day. We ended up losing our next match, unsurprisingly. Played against something equally as saddening as the first round. Instead of Inferno Noble Knight, we find ourselves against Zodiac Dogmatica. Pretty interesting mix. Anything that can make a 1-card Link monster or a 1-card extra deck monster, you can mix some Dogmaticas in there, and this is one of those variants that just happens to work. I have the attention span of an ant, so I need to actually look at what the heck happened this game. Winning the die roll, we actually probably open up a super solid hand for what it is. Imagine if we had Sunlight Wolf with this type of thing. We opened up Gazelle plus Jack Jaguar, which Gazelle plus any Salamangreat monster is a pretty good combo on its own because we can summon the Battlinks and immediately drop that Gazelle to get a dump. In the current hand, I did not have a Salamangreat War, so actually what the plan was is since I can't really do any plays to add back the spells and traps from grave, like since I don't have Sunlight Wolf, I was just going to dump the Roar off the Gazelle and then blink the Battlinks to be able to set the Roar from my graveyard. Unfortunately, when I summon the Gazelle, it's met quickly with an Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. That thing's a magnet for all hand traps, it's expected. End up just setting the 3 back row, it's like Break Off, Trap Hole, Threatening Roar, and goes in match, and I pass it back to him. He starts his turn with a Zodiac play. He opens up Thoroughblade, chooses not to use the effect, and then slaps on a couple more dudes on there to get into Dryden. Before he leaves his main phase, though, I choose to flip up Threatening Roar, so nothing's leaving my field from battle that time around. But that doesn't stop him from doing more. He proceeds to summon Maximus, and I don't have any good cards to dump off Maximus. He sure does. So he dumps and Ash Drag, and I dump like Doolittle, Chimera, and the Flame Administrator. Go to our turn, and our turn is just as unimpressive. I managed to make a Heat Leo, but that Heat Leo is literally doing absolutely nothing. That Heat Leo is just not big enough to do anything, and I know he has a Fleur-de-Lis in hand from the Ecclesia he added earlier. So if I try to go for a Heat Leo effect, it's getting negated, and the Fleur-de-Lis on its own is big enough to out my Heat Leo. So I'm in for just a world of hurt when he slaps down that Fleur-de-Lis. I've got no way to out it. He made an oopsie on his turn. He started his turn by like activating Maximus and then tried to go into a Zodiac play. I had to tell him like, oh, you activated Maximus, you can't use that Whiptail to go into your rest of your plays. So he just has a Whiptail chilling on the field and he can't kill me again. Again, it doesn't matter because I can't top deck anything that has enough sustenance, enough plays to be able to actually counter the board he puts out. Like if I leave him with the Maximus like I did, he's just gonna activate it the next turn. I'm gonna run out of extra deck cards eventually, or extra deck cards that do anything, and he just keeps powered throughing them. So he has the Ints and the Ash Dragon, and that's all he needs. So with that in mind, and a constant stream of Fleur-de-Lis to hand, I'm screwed this game, and that's exactly what happens. I end up losing to double Fleur-de-Lis because it's just more than enough damage to win. Second game, we open up pretty decent again. We open up the Salamangreat plus the Gazelle in hand, so we're looking at a pretty similar board. We go to summon the Gazelle, and it gets met with an Imperm this time. We're just never resolving Gazelle. It's just not happening. So the follow-up is the absolute power play of the deck. We end up making Heat Leo, pass with a couple back row. I made a mistake and I totally didn't realize that Rage can only use its non-targeting effect when I have a monster that was link summoned using the Sanctuary. So the Rage was actually dead in my back row on that turn. But I did have two other back rows that were, well, one other back row that was okay enough to survive me a turn. After summoning a whole bunch of Dogmatica cards and leaving off on a Trident, he can't kill me, but he does pass it back to me. Rage is actually still set in the back row, not making that same mistake again. I'm actually able to climb up into the Heat Leo and then blink it with the Sanctuary. I was totally worried about any timing that he could actually just stop my play, but he ended up not having it. He didn't want to Trident pop my Fencing Fire Ferret that I ended up normal summoning to be able to climb into that Heat Leo because it would have popped something. So that ended up pretty okay because I made the Heat Leo, blinked it with the Sanctuary, and then I was able to activate the Rage for 3, pumping his Maximus, Ecclesia, and his Trident. He changed the Trident. Balance is keeping everything alive. We're looking pretty. I keep forgetting that Roar has a second effect where when you link summon a Salamangreat monster using the same name, you can set that card from your graveyard again. That would have been a huge power push if I would have set that again, but I completely forgot. I think I did in an earlier game too. It was inconsequential in that earlier game, but this one it probably would have really mattered because I had him down to 1 card. So since I really forgot to do that, he ended up just pushing and destroying me, and I ended up losing. And that was our dream down the toilet. Obviously off to a blazing start in sealed only too. I think a lot of things are gonna start heating up as we get into later boxes, later product. You guys will see, I have got some pretty well planned out. So we're just waiting for when organized play makes its anticipated return. We're coming with a full power Salamangreat deck to the first YCS. That's the goal at least. So even though we leave off this episode with some expected but saddening losses, you might want to stick around for next episode to see what legends we pull out when we're going back to battle.